What's up, everybody? Welcome to another, I guess I'll call this yearly ranking video where I rank every movie that I've seen of each year. I've done from 2023 to 2021. Now I'm doing 2020. Yeah. So, all right. First of all, um, it's been a little while since I've done a video. I apologize. Aside from the cousins or your cousins are critics episodes, but it's been a little while. I apologize for not putting up a video. I've been having bad allergies lately. I'm still trying to get over it. I'm still not over it completely yet. So that's why if my voice sounds off or if my energy is low, it's because of that. But I figured, I think I'm well enough to do a video, so yeah. But that's why I haven't done a video in a while, aside from the your cousins are critics, of course. Just in case you were wondering. But I'm back now. I kind of took a hiatus, but I'm back. Anyways, so yeah, the 2020 movies ranked from my least favorite to favorite. I have seen 14 movies of 2020. So if your favorite isn't on here, that means I haven't seen it. And also, keep in mind personal opinions. If my favorite is your least favorite, sorry. If my least favorite is your favorite, too bad. So yeah, personal opinions. Okay, so with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. Also, I have talked about a lot of these movies already from it was my April ranking, but just bear with me. I'll talk about them again. Maybe I won't say too much about some of these, but yeah. Anyways, okay, let's just go ahead and get started. So, coming in at number 14, my least favorite movie of the year 2020 is Mank. Yeah, Mank, directed by David Fincher. This is my least favorite David Fincher movie, and I did not like Mank at all. I thought it was really boring. The only positives I can give it is that the performances are good and the black and white cinematography is good, but that's it. I'm not a fan of Mank. I'd rather watch Citizen Kane again. I'm not even a big fan of Citizen Kane, but I'd rather watch that again than Mank. Mank was boring. So yeah. Yeah, that's my least favorite 2020. So yeah, Mank number 14. Coming in number 13 is Ava, directed by what's his name? Tate Taylor, I think. Yeah, Tate Taylor, starring Jessica Chastain and Colin Farrell and John Malkovich. Yeah, I talked about this in my April ranking. Okay, now this movie was okay. It was fine. I thought the performances were good, but the story wasn't great, in my opinion. Wasn't really that interesting. I did like the lead character Ava, though. She was badass, and Jessica Chastain played her very well. However, the ending sucked really bad. The ending was so bad it almost felt like they're teasing a sequel, which I don't think there ever will be a sequel to this because this movie didn't do very well. But yeah, that ending was so bad. It was one of the worst endings to a movie I've ever seen. And yeah, I mean the movie itself isn't terrible. It's okay. It's just not for me. But there's some good in it. At least it had a good protagonist, and an interesting protagonist in a non-interesting movie. So yeah, but Ava's okay. That's my number 13. Okay, coming at number 12. Now this movie I think is I don't know if it's divisive. I think it's a lot of people for some reason didn't like this movie. I didn't mind it. I actually thought it was pretty decent. It's a Ron Howard movie. That's a Hillbilly Elegy, which is a biopic about J.D. Vance, I think is his name, about like his upbringing, and I I actually, yeah, I didn't mind this movie at all. I thought it was pretty decent. I thought the performances were very good, especially from Amy Adams and Glenn Close. And yeah, I actually kind of liked it. I didn't love it, but it was decent. I don't understand the hate for it, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, it's okay. That's my number 12. My number 11. Now this one is divisive, and I'm more on the positive side. I liked it, but I don't know if it should have won Best Picture, though. That's right. This is the Best Picture winner of 2020. If you know, you know. That's Nomadland. Yeah, Nomadland. I thought it was decent. I can understand why some people wouldn't like it. I understand if some people say that it's boring. It kind of was, but I didn't think it was totally boring. Actually, my next one is a little bit more boring than this, but I think I have it one higher just because it has an interesting premise. But no, I thought Nomadland was okay. It was decent. Frances McDormand was very good in the film, and yeah, it was just a decent movie. I only saw it once. I might watch it again. I don't know, but yeah, Nomadland. That's my number 11. Coming at number 10 is Little Fish, starring what's her name, Olivia Cooke. Yeah, and also Jack O'Connell. Yeah, now this one okay. I think this movie is a little bit boring, but it has a good premise. It has a very good premise, a very interesting and unique premise. It's a love story, but it takes place in a world where there's this virus going on, but it's a virus that makes you lose your memory. So that is very. I thought that was very cool. And it's about this couple trying their best not to forget each other. And I think it was pretty well done for the most part. It's just that it's not a very, I don't know, it's not a very entertaining movie, and I don't think I'll ever watch it again just because of that, because it was kind of boring at times, but I liked the premise a lot, and the performances were good too, and yeah, it was alright. Little Fish, that's my number 10. Coming at number 9 is the first of two Pixar movies that came out in 2020. And, okay, and then this one, some people might get mad at me for putting this lower, because this is the favorite out of the two. But, however, I like the other one better, to be honest. But my number 9 is Soul. I'm not the biggest fan of Soul, to be honest. Do I think it's a bad movie? No. I thought it was pretty good, pretty decent. It's just, it wasn't really for me. I don't know. I don't know what it was. It's not because of like jazz music. I like some jazz music. It's not because of that, and I don't know. Maybe it's just the premise. I didn't find the premise all that special, but it's not a bad movie. Will I ever watch it again? I might. I could watch it again, but I don't know. It's just not one of my favorite Pixar movies. That's all. But it's decent. But yeah, I actually like the other Pixar movie that came out that year better. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. That's a little higher on the list. But yeah, Soul is number 9. Coming at number 8, we have a disappointing movie for me, but I still liked it. That is A Quiet Place Part 2. I loved the first Quiet Place. That was a very good movie. And I was really looking forward to this one. And it was kind of disappointing, not going to lie. I don't know. I just didn't think it was as good or interesting as the first movie. But, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. What I did like about it was that it did focus more on the kids in this movie. I thought that was really cool, and they both did a great job, especially the daughter. I always forget her name, but I love that actress. She is awesome. Yeah, Emily Blunt, she's in the movie, not as much as the kids, but she's in it fair enough, I guess. And she's good. I like her a little better in the first one, but you know. And also, what's his name? Cillian Murphy. He was good in it too, but I don't know. I did not like the ending to it, to be honest. I guess it was like a cliffhanger ending, kind of like the first one, but I thought the ending of the first movie did a lot better. This one, it didn't even feel like it could have ended. It felt weird. It felt weird to end it on the part that they ended it on, and it just didn't feel like an ending. Not even like a good cliffhanger ending. I don't know. It just I didn't like the ending. The opening was good though. The opening was like showing what happened on the first day with the family, and that was done very well. I really enjoyed the opening of this film, but the ending I didn't like, and it kind of almost ruined the movie for me, if I'm going to be honest. But it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, Quiet Place Part 2 is my number 8. Coming at number 7, we have another sequel, and that is Borat subsequent movie film. This might be one of the most cringiest movies I've ever seen, but in a good way. Not in a bad way like Booksmart. That's probably the most... And Sausage Party, too. Those are the cringiest movies I've ever seen, but they were done horribly. This one was done pretty well. I still enjoyed it, even though it was really cringy, but at least it was funny. And the first one was kind of cringy too, but the first one is better, but this one, sequel's alright. I really liked the chemistry between Sacha Baron Cohen as Borat, of course, and Maria Bakalova. I'm sorry if I pronounced that name. I probably did. Probably butchered it, but she plays Borat's daughter, and she was amazing. And their chemistry in this movie is fantastic. There's definitely some cringy moments with them too, but it worked for the movie. It's still pretty much the same humor as the first one. The cringe is turned up a little high though, but it's still same humor in it, and I think it's a pretty good sequel. I like the first movie better, but I still enjoyed the sequel. Yeah, Borat subsequent movie film, very good. That's my number 7. All right, I'm gonna pause this real quick. Yeah, be right back. All right, coming at number 6, we have Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. This one I liked, but this is probably a one and done for me. Like I don't have to watch this movie again, but I did enjoy it very much. This is pretty much just a simple story that done in an independent film, like almost kind of like Jim Jarmusch style. Although I feel like Jim Jarmusch's films are a little more entertaining than this one, but yeah, just a simple story about a teenage girl who gets pregnant, and her cousin decides that they're going to go to New York to get her an abortion. And that's pretty much it. That's the whole movie. Not much happens there, and there's very little dialogue in this movie. But yeah, it's still pretty good though. I think it's actually really good. Like it's really well done. I think the filmmaking was, whoever directed this did a really good job, and the performances are great too, especially the lead actress in this movie, Cindy Flanagan. But yeah, I liked this movie a lot, and had a really good and touching scene, emotional scene, I should say, that was in this movie that involves the title of, it's where the title of this movie comes to play, and that scene was, oh my god, like it got me, to be honest. I kind of cried at it, just the way it was done, and Cindy Flanagan's performance in that scene was amazing. But aside from that, it's not a very entertaining movie. I could see some people not liking it, saying that it's boring. I actually found it a little more entertaining than Little Fish, even though Little Fish has a more interesting, premise. I found it to be a little more entertaining than Little Fish. That's why I have it higher. But because I don't know, I wasn't really that bored with this movie. It's just I don't know. It's just not a very rewatchable movie. So I don't have to watch this movie again. But it's probably a one and done. But it's a good one and done. I think it's a very good movie. But yeah, just the entertainment value not all the way there, and the rewatchability value, whatever you call it, it's not there either. But it's a movie that you should probably watch at least once. But yeah, I enjoyed it very much. If I was like to rank these movies of like how good I think they are, it would probably be in the top 3 at least. But yeah, I don't know. Just not one of my favorites. I like these 5 better. But yeah, it's still a good movie though. Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always is number 6. Okay, coming at number 5 is a horror movie that actually came out, I think, early in the year. And I didn't think it was going to be that great, but it surprised me of how good it was. That is The Invisible Man. No, okay, one bad thing I will say about this movie: the CGI sucks. The CGI is pretty bad. But aside from that, this movie's actually really good. It's a horror movie, but it's more of just like a psychological thriller, I guess you can call it. And a very good story. And I think the lead performance, Elizabeth Moss, she does a fantastic job in this film. This movie gave me a crush on her. She's amazing in this, and it's very good. I think it's a loose adaptation, like more of a reboot than a remake of the original Invisible Man from like the 30s or so, but which I haven't seen, but yeah, I enjoyed it very much. It's just the CGI is bad, but that's it. Everything else is great. The story's great. It's very well written. The performances, cinematography is very good too. Yeah, it's a good movie. The Invisible Man, that's my number 5. Okay, coming in at number 4, now we have a documentary this time. And it's a documentary about my favorite cartoon of all time. If you watch my top 10 favorite cartoons list, then you should know what it is. That is Happy Happy Joy Joy, the Ren and Stimpy story. Yeah, now this isn't a very easy watch, mostly just because of the creator of Ren and Stimpy is a scumbag. And he is in this documentary. They did interview him, which wasn't like terrible to watch, but at the same time, like, especially if you like watch this not knowing anything about this and about him, and then you find out what he did, you're just like, fuck you, John K. I mean, very creative guy, I love him as an artist, but I don't like him as a person. If you don't know, unfortunately, he's a pedophile. That's all I'm gonna say. And this movie does show that, but it talks a little bit about that. But of course, it talks about Ren and Stimpy, the success of the show, and that's the main reason why you should watch this if you're a Ren and Stimpy fan. Hopefully John K won't turn you off, because no, even after watching this and knowing about John K, I'm still a Ren and Stimpy fan. I separate the art from the artist. If it ruins it for you, then yeah, don't watch this. But yeah, it's a very good documentary. It's just kind of hard to watch, because of him. But it's still a good documentary. I still enjoyed it very much. And yeah, Happy Happy Joy Joy is number 4. Coming at number 3 is the other Pixar movie. And yeah, I'm sorry, but I liked this more than Soul. I honestly did. I only seen it once, but I really enjoyed it. That is Onward. I think Onward is honestly probably the most underrated Pixar movie. I I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Very well, a good story, but also a really good like premise, or at least like the world is very interesting. Even though the story's not totally focused on the world, but it's still pretty cool though. Just a world where with like these magical creatures that don't even use their powers, but instead it's just like modern times but with magical creatures. After technology is invented, they don't even use their magical powers anymore. But it's still a pretty cool movie though, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think some people don't like that Chris Pratt played the big brother in this movie. Like some people thought Jack Black should have played him, which probably be better. But I don't know. I thought Chris Pratt was okay. I'm not a Chris Pratt fan either, but I thought he did an okay job. And yeah, and I liked the brothers in this movie. I really liked their chemistry, and yeah, I really enjoyed this film. So yeah, Onward. That's my number 3. Coming in number 2 is I think this is a divisive movie that came out this year. There's actually a lot of people that don't like this movie, which, okay, like the themes of this movie I kind of get because it's a very man-hating movie, but at the same time, I don't know. I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was very entertaining and just really cool. That's Promising Young Woman. I really liked this movie a lot. I think mostly because of Carey Mulligan, but also the ending. Like, the ending is insane, and it caught me off guard, and it made me love the movie. It kind of took me a little while to, like, really love the ending, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, okay, that ending was actually amazing. Like, I didn't know what to think when I first saw it, but I really love that ending so much. And again, Carey Mulligan, fantastic. Even Bo Burnham is good in this movie, surprisingly. Like, he actually gave a really good performance in this film. Great director, because he did 8th Grade, one of my favorite movies. But he was good in this, though. And yeah, I actually really liked Promising Young Woman. And it would be my favorite if it wasn't for this one. It was my favorite of that year until I saw this movie. But my number 1. But yeah, number 2 is Promising Young Woman. But my number 1 is Palm Springs. I was actually very surprised of Palm Springs. I honestly didn't think I was going to like it, especially when I first heard of it. I was like, nah. But I decided to watch it, and I was surprised. I'm not an Andy Samberg fan. I don't really like him all that much. I find him very cringy, honestly, most of the time. But I actually didn't find him cringy at all in this movie. I actually thought he was really good and even funny in this film. And the actress too, Kristen Milotti, she was great, and they have amazing chemistry in this film. But J.K. Simmons is my favorite character. He plays my favorite character in this movie. He was amazing. He was hilarious, and yeah. But yeah, the movie itself though is really good, and it's really funny. And it's a premise that has been done to death, and like, of course, I think Groundhog Day is the one that people know the premise the most, the whole time loop thing. But honestly, I gotta be honest, I actually kind of like this a little better than Groundhog Day. I do. I actually, I thought this movie was more entertaining, and I even thought it did a better job with the time loop thing. It did it very interestingly, very in a very interesting way, and I really liked it. I really enjoyed this film. This is so good. If you're a fan of like rom-coms or even just comedy in general, Like, even if you're not a fan of comedy or rom-coms, but you do like comedies at least, I still recommend this movie. This is a really good movie, really funny, and yeah, you should check it out. Palm Springs, that's my number one favorite movie of the year 2020. Okay, there we go. There is my ranking for every movie I watched in the of the year 2020. I am going to work on a top 20 list. Yeah, top 20 of my favorite movies of this decade. Check that out. I'm going to do that for every decade, except the rest I'm going to do a top 50 for. This one I'm only doing top 20 because, we're still in this decade. We still got plenty of years left, and I'm sure there's going to be more great films that are going to come out this year. If I'm still doing this channel by the year, 2030, then I'll update it and do a top 50. But for now, I'm going to do a top 20, and check that out. Maybe, I don't know when I'll do that one yet, but if not this coming Saturday, maybe next week. But I also got another video I got planned is a updated ranking for Alexander Payne's films. So check that out as well. That might be the next video. We'll see. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit the bell. And I'll see you guys later. All right. Peace.